widdz here, and in today's video we're gonna check out what is probably actually gonna be the new meta build in this season. So in yesterday's patch they did fix the catalyst mask, and with that we got even stronger builds. So this build will be amazing for solo play, even group play, and in basically all activities, and I would say even shining in activities such as legendary. But before we keep going, I just want to quickly shout out my partner, My Protein. So if you need to stock up on some creatine, some protein powder or protein bars or workout clothes or anything like that, then check out the description and use code widdz for 38% off. If you guys want to see more gameplay, then head to my second YouTube channel at widdz TV. There should be one or even two videos with me playing this build in like legendary, control point and that kind of stuff. So we gotta start off covering the catalyst mask, and just to refresh your memory how it works, how to get it and all that. So Catalyst is a mask that is exclusive for the Brooklyn DLC. So you need to have DLC to get it. You can get it from open world bosses in Brooklyn, which have like probably a super low chance. The most reliable way is to do the mission Army Terminal, which is the last mission. And it does have like a 10% chance, maybe 8% chance on heroic to drop from the end boss. If we take a look at the mask itself, we got weapon damage as a core attribute. Then we do have hazard and status effect. So there's no crit at all on the mask. Don't worry though, the talent itself will make up for it. We quickly just go all the way down here. And we start from the bottom. You can see stabilizer. So while burning, you can maintain ADS without disruption. So you can aim down sight and actually shoot, which is freaking amazing. So we have at max stacks, killing a status affected enemy grant bonuses for 5 seconds, being 25% bonus armor and 20% reload speed, which is pretty nice as well, giving us faster DPS and more bonus armor. We do take a look at the main talent though, called Chemical Agent, or I guess Catalysis. So basically dealing and receiving any status effect will build stacks of Catalysis to a maximum of 12. And each stack will grant you 2% weapon damage and 2% status effect. So this will give you a total 24% each when it's max. And here is where this one was actually bugged before. I think if I heard correctly, it was only giving you 2% at max instead of 24. So yeah, that is the big change that they fixed. Take a deeper look here also. Each enemy within 25 meters that is affected by a status effect grants +1 stack a second. And also if you are affected by status effect, you grant 2 stacks a second. Stacks do decay at 1 stack per second after 5 seconds if no enemies are in the radius or you are affected by a status effect. So basically, put stuff on status effect, you will build stacks. If you get on status effect yourself, get even more stacks, right? We're gonna take a look at Backfire, which you guys probably are aware of. Put yourself on a bleed, making it really easy to build those stacks. We take a quick look right here. We shoot a bit, we reload. And we can see right there we are on bleeding, and you can see instantly we're maxing it up pretty damn fast. So that itself is really good synergy with the Catalyst mask. There is a lot of other ways as well to get the mask going. I mean, for example, make sure when you're playing any Catalyst builds, shoot every single weak point on NPCs, prioritize that, and especially having an SMG where headshots are not super mandatory and you can hit bodies and still do a lot of damage. It's gonna be a good option. On top of that, there's also of course skills that you can use to get more status, which we will get to later. But if we go back to the Backfire, make sure you get the target out of cover damage. The gun itself have really high crit chance because it's a SMG, also with some good gear mods. If we look at the talent itself, you will be getting 200 critical hit damage when you reach 100 stacks, and that will last 10 seconds. When you reload though, you do apply a 10-second bleed to yourself, which deals 0.5% armor damage per stack, which is not gonna really be an issue with this build. But yeah, there is plenty of ways to mitigate the damage with hazard and such, which we will get into more detail soon. But I want to cover something with this gun. So you see when I reload right there, we will be bleeding. And we bleed once again. But right now you see my stacks are 100. So what happens if I reload now? As you can see, nothing happens. Because as soon as you reach 100 stacks, you're not going to be affected by the bleed. which is a good thing and also a bad thing, I guess. So if you're playing content where you hit to shoot and keep the 100 stacks on Backfire, you are not gonna be put on bleed. So I just thought I would let you guys know about that interaction, because I did not know about it until a few days ago. That 100 stacks basically saves you from the bleed, because it doesn't really say anything here, right? About being on 100 stacks, not putting on bleed. So yeah, right now we have Catalyst and we do a Backfire. Next up is 4-piece Striker. So 2-piece giving you weapon handling, being stability, accuracy, reload speed, and swap speed. And 3-piece rate of fire, increasing that burst and DPS, right? And then 4-piece giving you damage on hit, right? And the chest piece alone putting you from 100 to 200 stacks. So if we take a look at the actual fully built here, so we have Catalyst that we went through, Backfire, and 4-piece Striker. The last slot is free. There is different ways to do it. Is we can quickly just cover the second option for gun. So either a lifty or a rock and roll, or just a normal AA12, just to be able to build stacks. Because if you play the chest piece, it's just nice to have a showstopper to build the stacks quick. I mean, you are gonna be using the Backfire 99% of the time anyway, so I don't see a reason to go like an AR. But yeah, if we talk a little bit about the last slot here, this is probably the build I like the most. So we have Palisade for that 10% armor on kill. It also comes with a blue, making it pretty easy to get in comparison to, like, let's say Sokolov. And then crit chance and critical hit damage. And here we have Bloodsucker. And this is kind of like a budget memento. I mean, especially, let's say you would do a Sokolov here, you would get 10% SMG damage and yeah, bonus armor from Bloodsucker. Kind of like a budget memento, which in this case we have to use because we already have exotic. But this one alone adds a lot of survivability using Bloodsucker, so this is kind of what I would recommend. Even though stats priority wise we are going 5 blues, we are stuck with the Catalyst being red, so we are going as many blues as we can. But even if you have 5 blues, you are gonna feel a bit squishy if you don't have something like this backpack with Bloodsucker. So this one helps a lot with survivability, and I know most of you guys really do love survivability, and this build is pretty easy to play when you add this one in. But if you want to go more damage, you can go something like this. You go with the Striker backpack, and then you go Obliterate and Sokolov. Way easier and faster to get the stacks going, because now we only have 100 stacks on the Striker instead of 200. But the survivability is just not that great. Even though we have 4 blues, it's just not that amazing. And one reason why I think blues are better than ever is because of the season modifiers. So we are 5 blues right now, which means when we are in tier 3 in firearms and stam, you will be gaining 2.5 headshot damage per every 100,000 total armor. So we have 1.7, which is around 42.5% headshot damage. Which on a SMG, I mean, we have 70% headshot damage. Like, is gonna scale pretty well. And that is just free damage for using blues. And yeah, it's a SMG. You might not be aiming for too much headshot, but personally, I'm trying to hit headshot as much as possible when it's efficient, right? Yeah, so to me, like, use blues, get damage, why not? Then, of course, load it up with the 25% of your critical hit chance value as critical hit damage. Even more damage, right? Extra padding you can use. I would recommend to use hazard protection right there, though. But I guess this is more of a personal preference, how much hazard protection you want to run with. So those 4 are the ones I would let you guys decide on. Let's say you don't get a lot of headshots, then yeah, take out this one and just go extra padding, which will be 25% protection from elite right there. But extremely good modifiers. And then since we're using blues, we're gonna use Assault Link for that damage. So yeah, we are running 5 blue cores and 1 red because of Catalyst. And item-wise, I'm just going critical hit chance and critical hit damage on every single piece. We are gonna easily hit the critical hit chance cap. So basically hit the 60 critical hit chance, the cap, and then put the rest into critical hit damage. And you're good to go. If you want to play more hazard, you can do that. You can have hazard pieces. Because I know a lot of you guys probably farmed hazard recently, but yeah, you can go hazard as well. But I'm rocking 42.5, and this is with tier 3, right? So I will be getting additional 15% on top of that So that's 57.5 when you have 5 stamp going, and that is more than enough. And keep in mind, guys, the only thing that we actually care about when it comes to the bleed is that we are gonna be a bit slower, the effect. Like, we have 5 blues, we have Bloodsucker. Like, survivability is not the issue. And yeah, the thing is, we get so much damage as well, as you will see in the gameplay. I think if you see the gameplay, you don't even think I'm running 5 blues, because the damage is just insane. And of course, like, you can put everything into red here, but in this season, I just think the way to go is going blues. And that's coming from somebody that always usually plays 6 red. So I'm not the guy that plays 6 blues, which a lot of other people do. So yeah, if you're seeing me playing like 5 blues on a build like this, then it's for a good reason. But yeah, last piece, you can kind of do whatever you want. I just think this is pretty nice. You can do Obliterate as I went through. You don't have to use Palisade, but this will give us 20% armor on kill with the specialization, right? You can definitely just use Sokolov Hair or something else and maybe play 4 red. It's just that it's a pretty easy piece to put there. Or if you want to have more hazard, you can even run a Yawl piece. So if we're moving on to the skills, since we're using Catalyst and we are playing Gunner, we will be getting the Banshee Pulse, right? And this one will add Disorient, so they will be a good way to get extra Catalyst stacks. This is on 1 person, right? You can see not that much. Almost half. But if you use it and open on a group, and I mean, this is gonna be the most likely scenario, right? You can see how fast we max it out. Super good. CC, low cooldown as well. Would definitely recommend. And then on top of it, I mean, we have 5 blues and we can use the shield. So of course we are gonna use a Crusader shield. Yeah, I know it's boring. With this build, you don't have to use it though. But I mean, it's too strong to not use when we have 5 blues. Then lastly, we do have the specialization, and I mean, nothing too new here. Gunner, as I say, it is in most cases the best PvE spec to go. We have the 10% armor on kill, giving you that survivability. The every third reload 50% faster. We have the 5% rate of fire on kill for 5 seconds. All of those amazing. And then just make sure you get the 15% SMG damage right there. And of course, for this build in particular, we are actually using the Banshee Pulse. So yeah, I definitely would recommend to use that one. But I think that's it for this video. It does definitely feel like I missed something and that I kind of went everywhere in this video, even though I set up some keywords so I would be going through it in a good order. It just didn't feel supernatural how it went, so I mean, hopefully everything made sense. But with that said, I maybe leave you guys with some gameplay, or you can find gameplay on my second channel, which is widdz TV. Other than that, I will see you guys in the next YouTube video or live on my stream at twitch.tv/widdz.